committed to preserving the voices that shape our community. We know people have short memories, and as long as this Black Talk radio station is on the air, we will not let Altadena be forgotten. We are honored to announce that the Altadena Historical Society will officially archive our recent town hall alongside every episode of Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. This is the show of record, the definitive source for tracking Altadena's roots, resilience, recovery, and reunion. These stories will now live on for students, scholars, researchers, and journalists seeking truth and legacy in the months and years to come. Because history isn't just made, it's honored, it's recorded, and it's passed forward. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Now, what is the root of fear? Is it not time, right? I might be ill. I might lose my job. I'm afraid my wife might get angry. Might. Is not fear the movement of time from the past to the present, from the present to the future? All that is movement, which is called time. Now, is that not movement of time thought? I think I might lose my job. I think my wife may be angry. So can you observe the movement of time, which is thought, which is the root of fear? Observe it without trying to do something about it, without your wanting something out of it. Then the very root of fear is beginning to completely change. The root it begins to dissolve. Now,
see, now y'all done upset me. We got to shout out Krishnamurti. It's his birthday today. We got to give Krishnamurti his flowers. It's his birthday today. But he starts the topic right on point. Fear as a movement in time. And that's going to lead us right up to the crux of today's topic. See, somebody told you just because you say that's my man or that's my woman or that's my person, that, you can control the situation, right? See, let me explain something to you about control. Control is the opposite side of fear. This is why you seek to control. Look at it in terms of a corporation. A corporation's human resource department. They can't just hire anybody. They've got a checklist. And they got to make sure that, you check all of the boxes in order to come into their work environment. Isn't a relationship a work environment? Yes, it's a self-work environment. Oh, goodness. So that process of being hired to a new corporation or a new job, a new career, right? They have something that is called an onboarding process. You got to check some boxes in order. There's a probationary period. Ooh, Lord. Does this not happen in intimate relationship? Tonight's topic, the relationship onboarding process. An intriguing look into the process of vetting your person. Let me tell you something about psychology. Psychologists will tell you the way the human brain is set up, the way the mind is set up, the way the consciousness is set up, you don't know the difference between good and evil, right and wrong. You don't. You really can't tell the difference. So what do? You try to control out of fear. Back to the great Krishnamurti. Now, I try to tell folk all the time, relationships are not a place where you just get satisfaction. Sometimes you get dissatisfaction, right? For the purpose of growing you up. But we live in a society that wants to be satisfied all the time, satiated all the time, stimulated all the time, feel goods, good vibes only. Now, black and white thinking is a mental disorder. But I've never heard anybody say good vibes only is black and white thinking. And it is. Most of us are moving out of fear when it comes to relationship. We're moving out of fear. We're afraid to be hurt. We're afraid to be left. We're afraid to be condemned. Right? This is what happens. So we have a vetting process. And if we're honest, can we be honest? Has the vetting process worked? Can we be honest? Has the vetting process worked? Because if it works for a time, does that mean the person was performing until they got to a certain point? I'm interested to know. What are your thoughts? 1-800-920-1580. Human breeding programs. How partner vetting secretly furthers eugenic ideals. You mean like the eugenicists from back in the past? You mean like Planned Parenthood, like Margaret Sanger? Human breeding programs. How partner vetting secretly furthers eugenic ideas. Here's your psychological insight. Attachment theory weaponized through secure style mandates. Oh, man. It creates this exclusionary hierarchy mirroring 20th century eugenics. Bowlby meets Galton. Your philosophical insight. Kantian categorical imperative corrupted into checklist ethics that dehumanize neurodivergent lovers. Checklist. Something wrong with you. Who raised you? As if you're better? And And say, well, isn't a checklist necessary? What is it based on? Is it based on your healed self, or is it based on, here we go, the supply that your unhealed wound requires? I'm interested to know. Karmic loops form when we judge partners' past, ensuring identical scrutiny rebounds in future lives, according to Thomas Campbell's My Big Toe. In other words, what you do to somebody else is going to be done to you. OkCupid data shows 92% swipe left on profiles mentioning therapy, meaning mental health stigma is encoded in the digital algorithms. According to Rudder, 2014. Emotional slavery contracts? What? The BDSM dynamics of modern commitment. Here's your psychological insight. Healthy boundaries rhetoric mask covert dominance submission rituals. According to David Dieda's polarity principle, it's being weaponized. I'll do this in exchange for that. I'll submit in exchange for resources, protection, security, finance, and vice versa, right? Weaponized what? Weaponized what? Weaponized empathy? Weaponized money? Here's your psychological or your philosophical insight. Social contract theory perverted into trauma-bonded, mutually assured destruction, according to Hobbes, Leviathan in couples therapy. Here's your metaphysical insight. Soul ties form faster through conflict than harmony, per shamanic entanglement principles, Harner's core shamanism. See, you don't even know what to look for. Because relationship is about the excavation and cultivation of self-knowledge. You don't go in looking at you. You're going in expecting whatever it is you want from that person. You go in thinking, I'm okay. There's nothing to be worked on here. I showed up right. And you know in your heart, most of you are performing. fMRI scans prove arguments trigger stronger dopamine spikes than compliments in codependent pairs, according to Fisher in 2017. Most of us have a pedigree fetish. Oh, my man works for Microsoft. My man works for Steve Ballmer. He's Steve Ballmer's right-hand man. My man is a producer. My man is an actor. My man went to Harvard. Or my woman, right? Pedigree fetish. You think you know how to vet somebody when you refuse to embrace the unhealed wounds in yourself. Huh? How elite education vetting perpetuates cognitive inbreeding. What is cognitive inbreeding? Here's your psychological insight. Ivy League fixation satisfies parental introjects, not actual compatibility, right? We went to the same school. We have a great education. But that doesn't speak to compatibility. This is according to Bowen's family systems theory. Philosophical insight, credential worship. Listen, let's credential worship. You won't even, did Jesus have a degree? Was Jesus formally educated? Was the Buddha formally educated? Or should we say formally indoctrinated? Yeah, right? If he showed up today, would you say, what school did you go to? In order for me to listen? Jesus was never married. If he showed up today, would you say, how can you speak on marriage? You've never been married. Would you say that to him? This is deep. Credential worship, right, commits the appeal to authority fallacy while claiming relational vetting. Russell's critique of elitism. Your metaphysical insight. Overdeveloped crown chakra from academic achievement blocks heart chakra intimacy. Judith's chakra psychology. Your empirical insight, 78% of Harvard couples divorce within 15 years versus 53% national average, according to NBER 2022. Many of us are unaware that we're involved in the trauma industrial complex. How therapy speaks, or therapy speak, creates new relationship prisons. Your psychological insight. Over-labeling attachment styles become self-fulfilling prophecies. According to Seligman's learned helplessness. I might be guilty of that. Here's your psychological insight, or your philosophical insight. I know people don't want to hear it, right? But we have to talk about it. How do you vet someone out when you're self-avoidant and self-ignorant? Nobody wants to hear. I'm not trying to besmirch anybody. I'm just saying this is how we're all conditioned. We're conditioned to be self-avoidant and self-ignorant. And we put the onus on the person to show up and fit, right, our checklist. You don't know how to interact with a spirit, a being. And I'm not saying it isn't important on a social level. But for most people, that's all it is the social level. What school did you go to? What field are you in? Where do you live? Do you have transportation? Do you see? Go even deeper. Do you have any STIs? Have you ever had any STIs? We're vetting people out, right? You got any STDs? We're vetting, right? But nobody knows how to vet the soul because they refuse to look into their own. Here we go. The voice of reason is on complete fire tonight. When we come forward, if you think I'm done, you're absolutely wrong.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique Dupree Prima with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The right person is going to be like, oh my God, like, you went through that? Like, I love you. Like, you? Oh my God, I get a chance to lick your wounds. I get a chance to be intimate with that. I get an opportunity to take this brokenness, and I get the one that gets to say, I put that back together. I did that. Like, that's a stand-up man. That's a stand-up woman. That's a stand-up person. We all looking for that.
Right. No, we're looking for the wrong thing. What in the Feast of Samhain is being pushed out here? Listen, nobody can do your work. We've already talked about it. I can walk with you as you bear your cross. But I can't walk you all the way to your Calvary and get on that damn cross for you. Your self-work is for you. Everybody's looking to be saved from the outside in, and it just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Psychology falls short when it comes to spiritual understanding. A great partner, a committed partner, is a solid companion, a faithful companion, an invested, committed companion that's going to walk with you, that's going to encourage you, that's going to uplift you, that's going to pour words of affirmation into you. Yes, but they can't do it for you. The work of you. Right? Somebody said Prince Charming is coming. But we already know Disney is a fallacy. The greatest fear in your life is looking into yourself, looking into your own dark heart. Here, simple test. Simple test. Sit down with anybody. I don't care who they are. Sit down with anybody. Name 5 things that make you undateable and unrelatable to other people. People will struggle answering that. But if you do it in reverse and say, name 5 things that make you relatable and dateable. Dateable and relatable. I'm funny. Yeah, I can cook. I got a nice style. I dress nice. I'm fun. I'm outgoing. They got a whole litany of things they can say. But if you reverse it and say, can you name 5 things about your character that make you difficult to deal with, that make you difficult to understand? Ooh. So if you can't say it about yourself, why do you have a checklist? I'm a vet you out. Corporate style partner vetting, sexual histories as background checks, attachment styles as credit scores, constructs precisely the trauma it claims to prevent. Neuroscience confirms obsessive red flag documentation trains the amygdala to weaponize hypervigilance, according to van der Kolk. Right? While quantum mechanics reveals vetting rituals entangle lovers in shared delusions of control. Your thorough onboarding enacts a karmic boomerang. The unintegrated shadow, according to Jung, you project onto your partner's past becomes your relational future. Data proves 89% of checklist-driven relationships implode within 18 months, according to Gottman Institute 2023. Victims of self-fulfilling prophecies masquerading as discernment. The brutal truth, you have no idea who they are because you don't know who you are. When we come forward, if you think I'm done, you're absolutely wrong.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Day 1 of Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial ended with graphic testimony. Prosecutors showed 2016 footage of him beating ex-girlfriend Cassie, and a stripper said he was paid to have sex with her while Combs watched. New Yorkers say they aren't sure how the case will end.
I think that we won't see the justice that he deserves because he's that big of a figure.
The defense argues it's just about his private life, but Combs faces life in prison if convicted. Black Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott is speaking out after Black Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ras Baraka's arrest, calling it an attempt to intimidate those who stand up to the Trump administration. Scott says he knows Baraka as an impeccable public servant and stands with him. And Michael Jordan is joining NBC's NBA coverage this fall as a special contributor. It's the network's first time airing NBA games since 2002. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Attention Attention parents! California Baptist University offers a pre-college credit program. That's right, high school students can get pre-college credit at CBU. Start the new year right with a free online course. Classes start January 6th. Apply for free at calbaptist.edu/PCC.
When the flames subside, who ensures that the stories endure? At KBLA Talk 1580, we're committed to preserving the voices that shape our community. We know people have short memories, and as long as this Black Talk radio station is on the air, we will not let Altadena be forgotten. We are honored to announce that the Altadena Historical Society will officially archive our recent town hall alongside every episode of Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. This is the show of record, the definitive source for tracking Altadena's roots, resilience, recovery, and reunion. These stories will now live on for students, scholars, researchers, and journalists seeking truth and legacy in the months and years to come. Because history isn't just made, it's honored, it's recorded, and it's passed forward. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
New Always Pocket Flex Foam will change the way you think about pads. Get full-size protection in a surprisingly tiny pack that fits right in your purse or pocket. Perfect for life on the go. With up to 0 leaks, 0 feel, and 0 bunching, you'll forget you're even wearing a pad. And Always Pocket Flex Foam is designed to adapt to your body, so you can move freely and confidently throughout your day. Experience the future of period protection with new Always Pocket Flex Foam. Pick up your pack today.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number because Ray, he's going to text it live and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I think the word heal can be abused, and it can be substituted with something like develop and grow. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? 'Cause,
develop and grow.
yeah.
I personally don't like the word healing. I use it because it's common language for so many people. Because I just feel like it has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah,
Like this whole idea about healing is returning back to the person that you were before life scarred you, and I just think that makes absolutely no sense, because how do you grow?
Even know? Yeah, and how do you even know when you got scarred and got harmed? It's like, that's like, I don't understand that. It's like we come out the womb crying, like it's hard when we first get here.
You know what I mean? That's traumatic. Like you can say that.
Hey, listen, I love Raquel Hopkins. I love her work. Not going to get an argument out of me. But we got to stop villainizing the terms and start pointing the finger where it goes. The comprehension. Oh, I don't like the word. It's being misused. No, it's being misunderstood. Heal simply means whole. Whole. W-H-O-L-E. Whole. Complete. Can't do that unless you individuate. According to Jung, individuation is when your mask and your shadow come together. That's when you're a whole person. You can't be a whole person unless you do the work. So individuation is a synonym for healing. Do you see? So we don't have to get confused about it. It's people using the term incorrectly. But what do? We go right to the term. Say, I don't like the term. Yeah, I don't like the way people use. Listen, healing is becoming whole. Do you understand? You can't become whole if you're self-avoidant. Do you understand? The brutal truth. Vetting's corporate HR hellscape. STI disclosures, employment interrogations, trauma autopsies constitutes intimacy's original sin, mistaking fear's performative theater for wisdom's quiet gaze. To love authentically demands radical non-vetting, embracing partners as mirrors of your unlived chaos, according to Krishnamurti, not prisoners of your curated past. What does that mean? Oh, I'm a pick a person, right, that totally caters to what trauma made me. Woo! That's empathetic to my coping mechanisms. Trauma molded me into this person. And because I don't have the testicular fortitude or the vaginal fortitude to go in and confront myself, it's on my partner. Do you see? To live authentically demands radical non-vetting. What is radical non-vetting? See, listen, you live in a capitalistic society, a materialistic society, a transactional society. So yes, I know it's unrealistic to say non-vetting, radical non-vetting. Fake people need the vetting process, because if they can check off the superficial things, they can get a fit for what they want to do. What do they want to do? Be stimulated. That's most people. They want stimulation, movement, activity. What are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? This is what they want. Is that not a form of escapism? The real work in relationship is self-discovery. To love authentically demands radical non-vetting. You can't vet anybody but yourself, and you refuse to vet yourself because of the very thing that Carl Jung talked about. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid looking at themselves. Do you see? To love authentically demands radical non-vetting, embracing partners as mirrors of your unlived chaos, not prisoners of your curated past. As long as you make my wounds comfortable, you're the right one. The path forward? Replace integration with invocation. Co-create through mutual annihilation of each other's certainty. Anything less perpetuates love's most toxic mimicry. Safety-obsessed souls building relational zoos while begging for wildness. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. If you fit in this box, if you perform the way I need you to perform, if you show up the way I need you to show up, it makes it okay for me to not show up for myself. They say, well, couldn't two things be true at once? I show up for myself, but I need you to show up? Sure. But that's a balanced person, isn't it? Right? When's the last time you seen somebody show up for themselves? And I mean really. I'm not trying to be cynical. I'm just asking the question. Right? I know you don't want to hear it put that way. Yes, we gotta vet to some degree. What are we vetting? What are we vetting? We're asking questions. Right? We get the answer. It might be a lie. It might be the truth. But is that truth stable? Will it always be the truth? I doubt it. I know people don't want to hear it put that way, but I have to say this. Do you understand? That's what tonight's topic is about. Do you really know how to vet someone out if you haven't vetted yourself? Do you? We live in the trauma industrial complex. Everybody knows attachment terms. Everybody knows therapy terms. But if you sit down and you ask that question, what makes you, 5 things that make you undateable and unrelatable. Everybody's using exactly, in Zynga, everybody's using narcissists. But if you ask that question, what makes you undateable and unrelatable? Can you name 5 things? Everybody's speaking on boundaries. Keep going. And Zynga is cooking. They talk about narcissism. They talk about boundaries. They talk about attachments. They talk about gaslighting. Trauma is an overused word, right? Everybody knows the psychological terms. But when you turn the lens back on the person and say, did you do this? Did you do this work? Did you overcome you? You guys hear me talk about triggers, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Now, you guys heard me say it this way. If you've been listening to the Voice of Reason on KBLA Talk 1580, you hear me say it this way. Do you have any self-wins where one conquers themselves? See, we go into relationships seeking to conquer the other. But relationship is spiritually designed for you to become aware of, take responsibility for, and heal yourself. That's what relationship is for. We've turned it into a vacation spot. And if it's not a vacation spot, it's toxic. Can't be your fault it's toxic. The trauma industrial complex, how therapy speak, creates new relational prisons. Over-labeling attachment styles. Like I said, I'm guilty. Goodness gracious. Hey, I could keep going. And you think I'm done? Wrong.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent. And the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. My privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? Now, here's the principle that rides beneath the text that most folk overlook. When the text says, "Don't be unequally yoked with another person that is not suitable for you," the suggestion is not get into the relationship and then discover that this person is not suitable for me and then try to find an exit clause. The principle is implying have a process whereby you may determine that this person is not suitable for me before you go too far. Meaning what? You got to have a vetting process. That's why you can't just be meeting somebody today and then talking about in 2 months. I don't know what kind of some 90-day rule, 3 months or whatever. I don't know what it is. You talking about you're gonna jump into bed with this person. 90 days is not enough time to vet an individual. Any good player can act for 90 days. Any good player can act for 90 days. Any good player. If he really wants you and want to deceive you, any good player can act good and act right for 90 days. Some of them can act good for a whole year. And then the moment they get what they want,
My.
then you start seeing, how grandma, how big your teeth are. Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red, what?
But when it says be not unequally yoked together, the wisdom is check this thing out before you get tied.
I love R.C. Blakes, but he's absolutely wrong. Self-unaware people can't discern. Let me explain. Long time ago, a friend of mine said the most profound thing ever. She said, if fear is present when you're writing a business plan, fear is being written into the plan. Woo! I said, whoa, hey, hold on. That was from Veronica Conway. She said, if you're in fear, desperation, if this gotta work, or if you're writing your business plan in that mindset, you are writing fear into the business plan. Do you understand? If you are afraid to confront yourself, you don't know what yoked look like. You don't know what equally yoked look like. I'm sorry. You think time is the determining factor. Time has nothing to do with it if you don't have the tools. What tools? Self-observation tools. To see how you're being triggered, how you show up, to see how they're showing up. You come in with one tool, the tool of expectation. If you do this, the tool of demands. If you meet this list, you have no idea what you're doing. And if it feels good, you won't say that that is discernment. Right? Something that feels good in the beginning and turns sour later. You won't say, I discerned that it was good. You'll say, they tricked me. And in the real world, you know what's happening? You know what's happening in the real world? Because of your DNA and ancestral hauntings, you reject the partners that are for you and accept the lessons that will break you. Oh, and it's all aligned. You will reject the partner that's for you and accept the partner that will break you. Ooh. Ancestral hauntings. When your DNA rejects chosen partners, the psychological insight, epigenetic triggers from unhealed generational trauma cause unexplained repulsion. Lipton's biology of belief, philosophical insight, right? Leibniz's compossibility principle explains why bloodline histories make certain unions metaphysically impossible. The one you reject because he's not aligned with your mess. You know you want him, but you can't have him. Ooh. Metaphysical insight. Ancestor spirits actively block mismatch relationships through somatic symptoms. Ingerman's shamanic view. Right? Empirical insight. 23andMe data shows 68% shared ethnicity in lasting couples versus 41% in divorced pairs. That's 23andMe 2023. Do you see? You don't know how to vet anybody because you're afraid to look at and embrace yourself as you are. All you have is demands. And what did I say about demands? If you're demanding something, you don't have it. Like the slaves demanded freedom. They didn't have freedom and they didn't have the power to take freedom. When you command, right, you ain't got to ask. Oh, that's right, Nzinga. We live in a gimme culture. Gimme, gimme, gimme. If you give me this, I'll be good. No, you won't. You'll just be good for now because sensations are like emotions. They don't last for long, forever. And when the sensation that used to be there when you did a thing goes away, oh, we lost the spark. Oh, what happened to the spark? We used to. Nobody taught you what relationship was for. Right? Listen, when I come forward, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the phone lines. I want to talk to folk. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. And don't forget, we're closing in on 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, May 31st, your brother Zoe Williams, along with Ray Grady, Alpha Male of Comedy, along with clinicians and comedians, we will be at the Miracle Theater. I want all of Los Angeles to come out. Come out to the Miracle Theater. Go to themiracleinglewood.com. Purchase your tickets right now. Get ready, get ready, get ready. The voice of reason. When we come forward, we go into the phone lines.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Day one of Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial ended with graphic testimony. Prosecutors showed 2016 footage of him beating ex-girlfriend Cassie, and a stripper said he was paid to have sex with her while Combs watched. New Yorkers say they aren't sure how the case will end.
I think that we won't see the justice that he deserves because he's that big of a figure.
The defense argues it's just about his private life, but Combs faces life in prison if convicted. Black Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott is speaking out after Black Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ras Baraka's arrest, calling it an attempt to intimidate those who stand up to the Trump administration. Scott says he knows Baraka as an impeccable public servant and stands with him. And Michael Jordan is joining NBC's NBA coverage this fall as a special contributor. It's the network